Welcome everyone to Classic Crafts. In this new video series we take the hottest ships in Sea of Craft and take them apart and put them back together for your amusement. We take a look at the principles behind building complex ships and reveal how to reproduce the weird and wonderful effects that make the great ships great. Today we're looking at the Hammerhead shark, which is the first of the many illustrious offerings available in the Ship Expo. If you're new to Sea of Craft, it's worth taking a look at the Ship Expo, a sharing space where sea captains like you can upload and share your creations with others. You can also download other players' work to inspire you in your own shipbuilding activities. Sharing is caring, after all. The Hammerhead shark, created by Wang DDD, is an interesting ship for a number of reasons, but naturally its most exciting feature is its big head full of circular saws. Building a complex ship like the Hammerhead shark requires a bit of forethought and planning. It's clear to anybody that this is a concept-led ship. It has to look like a hammerhead shark to be successful. It also needs to move like a hammerhead shark, and do all the things a shark can do, like diving and surfacing. We'll look at movement in more detail later on. This is an attack ship, so a secondary priority is giving it good weapons. The circular saws are a great choice because they can do damage simply by making contact with the enemy ship. There's no need to generate lots of momentum, unlike with the spearhead and greatsword. The jaws can just bite down and the saws will do the rest. We're going to start by building the head. When you're building a complex component, with lots of parts packed tightly together, it helps if you don't restrict yourself by building the rest of the ship beforehand. We don't want to build a beautiful looking shark and then find out we can't even build a set of working jaws because the body is too small. We're going to operate the jaws with T-shaped pivots 90 degrees, rotated so they turn up and down rather than left to right. These pivots are commonly used in turning mechanisms, but here we're going to make them open and close our jaws. There are a number of ways to assemble the pivoting components, including pulleys combined with passive bearings. We're going to avoid using pulleys because while they would provide a powerful opening and closing action, they'd be cumbersome and they'd get tangled in the rest of the mechanism if the jaws overextended, which is very likely. Make sure you don't get hypnotized by the saws while building. You are feeling very sleepy. The hull needs to be built to scale according to the size of the head. When you're adding the finishing touches, be free-handed with the spikes. We want our shark to look as menacing and realistic as possible. Our hammerhead shark has an inventive turning mechanism. Rather than using parts built directly onto the hull, this hammerhead shark has an additional tail component that controls turning. As the tail swishes, the propellers mounted to it swish with it and cause the ship to turn. This configuration is a really nice naturalistic touch that mimics the real movements of a shark and sets it apart from other ships. Connect the hull to the tail component using T-shaped pivots 90 degrees. As well as being able to turn left and right, our shark can dive and surface. It can dive below, sneak up on its enemies, surface violently and strike. On our hammerhead shark, this effect is achieved by using propellers. Mount propellers on the underside of the hull and the top side of any available surfaces inside the hull. This is just for the sake of neatness. You'll need to adjust the key bindings to your preferred diving and surfacing keys, or your movement will get very messy indeed. Now, if you give all your vertical propellers the same key configuration all over the hull, the shark is just going to sink straight down like a brick. We want the shark's head to appear to lead the ship up and down, so we're going to have to make these propellers uneven somehow. Reverse the key bindings on the tail part of the shark. This will cause the tail to rise in relation to the body when the shark is diving, and sink when the shark is surfacing. And that's it! We've covered the main principles involved in building this monstrous hammerhead shark. Needless to say, this is just the beginning for you players. You can apply the principles and methods we've covered today to build your very own terrifying sea creature. Soon the once tranquil waters of Bila will be infested with mechanical sea life, and nobody will be safe. Just remember that the little fish always gets eaten, so don't forget to dream big. Thanks very much everyone, see you next time.